simple. Easy to do. Whole lots of fun. So much fun. Follow me for more bad advice.
What you doing?
Kegerator died. I can't work without beer, so the way it's built, I can take the bits of it apart and put a new freezer in. But this one has all the fancy electronic controls and everything in it. So I'm making an absolute mess getting all of this taken apart without breaking anything.
Well, not breaking is key.
Yeah. See that? So.
Who's your helper?
Yeah, William's getting paid to help because there's little tabbies. Yeah, he's getting paid. It's working on the Kegerator, not farm stuff. I figure that. I think that earns him some money for motorcycle parts.
Oh, motorcycle parts. It's one lucky little boy.
$10.
$10.
$10 to
rich
pick up
kid.
styrofoam. But I got to get all the tabbies and everything exposed to be able to pop all this apart. And it is all buried in spray foam styrofoam. So.
Well, that was a well-insulated freezer.
I don't ever suggest anybody doing this.
Sorry, say that one more time a little louder for me.
I don't ever suggest anyone do this. Just go buy one.
Oh, okay. How many times is this that you've done this?
I've built what, 4 or 5 Kegerators. I think this would be the second time I've rebuilt that one. So
he says, don't do it yourself. Buy one.
Don't. Just don't do it. It ain't worth it. I'm sticky. I'm covered in styrofoam. Got a freaking mess out here. It ain't worth it. Of course, no, give me a couple hours and I'll have cold beer and it'll be worth it again. But for right now, it's not worth it.
What happened?
What happened is the freezer part broke. And if this was 3 years ago, I'd have just thrown out all the lumber, put the whole thing in the dump, maybe save some wheels and some, like, the hoses and special stuff. And the whole bottom half would have gone to the dump. But since lumber is stupid expensive, I am scavenging this thing and going to be making it out of scrap wood for a second time. So it's the third time I've used this wood.
Oh dear.
And this freezer is actually 2 inches shorter and 1 inch skinnier than this one. So
time to make do.
Build a Kegerator. It's fun. It's easy. You'll love it.
What you doing with that knife there? And wires. You got any ideas what you're doing?
No. Not a clue.
No,
So
well.
the wire used to come in. I've got to flip this all around. So the wire used to come in here. So I had to drill and cut a hole back here for the wire stop. And now, instead of all this is integrated into the circuit board. So instead of risking damaging the circuit board, because this freezer has its own temperature controller and all that, which is why I bought it. So, and to prevent risking damaging all the sensitive electronics in here, I just went ahead, cut the wire, pulled it out, but now I got to get everything back. So now, I have no idea. Just making this up as I go along as usual.
It's not plugged in, right?
No.
Oh, that's a plus.
Like as Michelle can tell you, I rarely go into things with a plan. I just kind of go. Literally make it up as I go along. So, I hope I know what I'm doing.
Famous last words. What you doing?
Performing surgery on this so I can install it in the new Kegerator.
What is this?
This is the seal that came out of the door for the old Kegerator, or for the old freezer, or for the... This is the seal from the new chest freezer that is now in the Kegerator.
Hey, isn't that the same knife that you destroyed in Know Your Knives?
Same model, but the other one is up there. We can get it if you want to.
Sure is a sharp knife.
It's like I know how to sharpen a knife or something. This one has done like probably 400 or 500 chickens.
I don't use those knives. I cut myself.
These knives are why we have a good supply of Band-Aids in the house. So, this is actually a shorter fridge, or a skinnier freezer. So I had to modify this, cut this down. Everything seems like it's still lining up okay. So this got cut down, re-screwed together, and then just a big heavy bead of clear silicone around this whole area here, because this will have a fan that's up in the tap tower that circulates the air, so it will actually leak air if you let it. So right now what I'm trying to figure out how to do is how to get this, which is all the electronic temperature control fanciness, safely mounted into about right here. So that's gonna go, like here is where this is. So I need to figure out my mounting with that, because I can't just go flush in, because it's not, sorry, I got the hiccups. I can't just go flush in. I'm gonna have to build up some type of a trim back on it. Yay, carpentry skills. But hey, since it's already like 30 degrees out, it's already gotten down to 34 degrees already, which is nice.
It's also why the camera's shaking a little bit. It's cold. Isn't it a little chilly for being doing this outside?
No, like, caulk totally works in 20-degree weather. Like,
sure.
Completely.
It's not like it's semi-frozen.
I think it works better. You have so much more working time when it's 20 degrees. I'm sure there's some window and door guy that's going to get on this thing and just be freaking out on me. Like, look, we farm. I don't have time to do it right. Like,
this is the workspace.
Yep, out of the rain. But I mean, the good news is that, you know, it's Tennessee, so it's rained non-stop. So I can't do all the other farmer stuff I'm supposed to be doing, but I can work on my Kegerator. Totally okay. Doesn't stress me out at all.
You got the caulking zen.
I got the high on silicone fumes. Ta-da! I mean, obviously I'm not done fixing the lid, but now that I have the factory seal here, because I pulled that off that old chest freezer, or off the new chest freezer, whatever, the replacement chest freezer. Now that I have that, I don't have to rely so much on my homemade thing. I mean, it's still going to sit up against this pretty well. but it's not like the primary seal like it was before. So I'm not going to worry too much about filling in this, and I will go through and clean up all this so it seals well. Yay, more time playing with aluminum foil tape. So.
Builds character.
So yeah, for more bad advice, follow us on YouTube and build a chest freezer. Or a whatever. I'm high on silicone, leave me alone.
Build a Kegerator.
All right, so this is for that. Ta-da! And that'll go in front of that. Ta-da! You know, after paint and everything else. I might silicone this in. I haven't decided. We'll see. I think I made that tight enough, especially after I put some paint on everything, that it should, capitalized, should fit. I don't know yet. Next thing I'm going to do is come down to right here and cut the thingy out. So this can go on there like that to give me air ventilation there. Because whoever said, man, I wish I would have not put so much ventilation around my chest freezer for my kegerator. So I'll do that and get back to you. Oh, that was so stressful. Oh, so stressful. So I have it plugged in, it's kicked on, I hear it running, and everything, knock on wood, is working. So I got to do paint, and you know, I kept hitting screws over here where I'd screwed this part together. So but it works. I've got ventilation there, which I had from the previous, and now I have new ventilation. I've got all new ventilation right here that this will cover and make look all nice and pretty, because, you know, might as well make it look all professional grade and stuff. So I think I'm going to finish getting the front buttoned up because I've only got a couple of screws in it. To get the front buttoned up and get the wires tucked away. And I will have to wait until a much nicer day when it's not 20 degrees out to paint this. This is just a desert tan El Cheapo paint. It's exterior because this is going to get a lot of goobery and gobbery and everything on it. And I don't think I can get away with bringing everything inside and caulking and painting it like I did last time. That would probably end up with issues. It's how you get at marriage problems, guys. So I'm gonna get some wires tucked away, clean up my mess, get that put on, get the rest of the screws in, and I will come back to you. Ta-da! All right, handling this controller thing is so stressful because I don't know if I can get another one. Like, that is very, I would take it out to show you, but I'm not, because it's already going to stress me enough out taking it out to paint all this. but it's like really, really little wiring in there. Like tiny, tiny, itsy bitsy wires. So I screw up and break that. I don't even know. Like, this is like a $500 freezer for this tiny little thing. And I can't, like, just go out and buy another one. Like, this was my toy money for the year. So, yeah. Having this thing be so delicate, so stressful. So stressful. But, knock it on wood. It's together. It's working. So, come back in a second. I forgot a very key part to this, and that was to put the ever necessary foil tape in there, which is now at the bottom of the chest freezer. And it just reminds me how much I hate dealing with this stuff. So, if I'm the only one, like, I get it. But if I'm not the only one and you also hate dealing with this foil tape stuff, leave a comment, because it'd be nice to know that I'm not alone. So I had it all put together. Then I realized that this wire needed to be ran all the way through here, where this was all ran. Like that was all already ran. My carbonation line, my keg carbonating line was already ran, which is the long line that comes out here. I'll show you that in a second. Sorry, I had to fix stuff, and I keep dropping my phone down in there, so sorry for the shoddy camera work. But anyway, I had it all done. I realized that this wire right here was not ran to my keg cooling fan. So I had to take everything all back apart, which then led me to decide that I need to change something. So yeah, I'll be back in a second. So let's talk beer nerdness for a little while. So this one that is hooked up to my inside regulator is just that standard CO2 line size. And that runs to my 4-way distribution manifold. Now, this is what all my normal beers run off of. I set this at like 12 PSI, I think, 12, 13 PSI. And then my normal beer goes for this, and that super chunky cider I did that, yeah, I'll probably just distill the rest of that next time, because that was not fun in the lines. Tasted good. But this is my carbonation line. So since I'm going to be running this up to like 30 PSI and adjusting the pressures on it so often, and I'll be using this for, like, the kids like to have root beer on tap. So because this one is going to get messed with the most, it's on the furthest outside, and I have a heavier duty line on it. So this is significantly thicker than this one. So this is like the standard CO2 line. This is, I forget, I think it's some commercial grade stuff, but it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to look it up on Amazon to tell you. You'll figure it out. And then this is actually going to be way, way long, so I can bring it all the way out of the keg, set it on the floor, or out of the way out of the kegerator, set it on the floor, do my shaky thing, carbonate, and then put it back in the kegerator. Okay. Everything is together, pressurized. I did the spritzy. This I'm hoping is reading wrong. Like, that is my tank pressure. I'm hoping that's wrong, because it's just so freaking cold out. But ooh, it's so shiny. Yeah, I had a minor freak out. I had the shop vac in here earlier, and I thought I had sucked that little plug up, but I found it. So lines are sanitized. I have not put, I need to put silicone in there. That's about the last thing I need to do. But before I do that, I want to make double sure that everything is done. Man, I didn't really do a good job cleaning, did I? Oh well. The important stuff's clean and sanitized. So, I will, God dang. You guys should just re-sanitize everything in the morning. Anyway, it's super late. I'm gonna head to bed. The grand tour. I haven't painted it yet because it's like 20 some degrees out still, and other farm projects have taken priority. But it is inside, it's plugged in, it is working. I have a vent on this side and I have a vent on the front. So there is plenty of airflow, because that's probably the death of last, what, 3 kegerators I've made, is it didn't have enough airflow, so the motor and pump and everything got hot and killed it. But the piece de resistance. This beer. Now you notice a lot of that has to do with line lengths and diameters of tubing and the length of tubing for being able to keep everything balanced. So having balanced airlines, so when you pour beer, it doesn't just go up to here with the foam. So that is, I think, one of the most trickiest parts of designing your kegerator, is figuring out your lines, which is why down inside of here I have like 6 feet of beer line wrapped up and several feet of airline wrapped up. That way nothing is surging and shocking. Cheers.